God morgon från Paretodesken måndagen den 9 maj. Det var fortsatt volatilt på Wall Street och vi såg ju kraftiga svängningar på börserna förra veckan. S&P för handel stängde i fredags på minus 0,6% och minus 0,2% för hela veckan. Och Nasdaq stängde på minus 1,2% och minus 1,5% för hela veckan. Och marknaden fortsätter att oroa sig för svagare ekonomisk tillväxt och den höga inflationen. Vi ska prata med Colvin om hans syn på allt det här. Good morning, Harry. We saw some large market moves last week. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing some pretty wild swings in markets, and it's, I think a very challenging time, and possibly, and so I think interestingly, some of the chatter in markets is that we're seeing some forced liquidation from big funds, and the evidence for that is very sharp moves lower in both the US equity market and in bonds, and of course in other assets as well. I mean, high yield credit, for example, performed very poorly last week. So it's heavy selling across asset classes, which is often consistent with someone a forced liquidation in a big fund. So that's the chatter. That may well be what's pushing equity markets lower last week.
And what do you think about the Fed?
Yeah, I mean, it was an extraordinary response. Initially a very strong move on the back of what seemed like quite a dovish language and even quite a dovish policy decision out of the Fed when many were expecting 75 basis points, and then that reversed. So I think the market maybe saw through that, and bond yields were backing up, maybe in response to the idea that if the Fed doesn't tighten quickly enough, then we'll have more inflation. Yields therefore moved up. Possibly that was it. But yeah, I think it was an extraordinary week. And the key point here, I think, is that markets are selling the rallies. We had that strong rally on the Fed, and it was sold. And that's been happening a lot this year. The rallies are getting sold. It's typical, actually, of what you see in a bear market. I mean, in our view, we're probably not in a bear market. We think this is a prolonged pullback. We think this is what we call phase 2 of a cyclical bull market, in which equities consolidate their gains. They trend sideways to down for 6 to 9 months. And it all happens, of course, as markets price in higher interest rate expectations out of the Fed. So I think that's the environment we're in. I don't think it is a bear market. Recession risk in our view is very low. So look, I think this is not the time to capitulate and sell equities. There are, though, lots of troubling things going on that, of course, are making us worried, not least the selling of the rallies and, of course, these signs of forced liquidation.
Thank you, Harry. Have a good day. Ja, det blir kortare sändning den här måndagen, men jag önskar er en fortsatt trevlig vecka och imorgon är vi igen tillbaka.